I personally would be the person beating on the table to change overtime rules more so than looking at the refs.
Okay. Why is that?
Because in overtime, so the first half of a game, you flip the coin. Somebody gets the ball.
Yes.
The second half, the other team gets the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So in overtime, you flip the coin, only one team gets the ball. The opponent doesn't even have a chance to score. So now we're putting the fate of an entire game on a coin toss. I don't like it. I would say I'd rather allow both teams to get it once at least, regardless of what the score is. And if they both score, let them play until the quarter's over or until somebody scores again.
So let's get into this a little bit. Rashad Jennings,
That's me,
7-year NFL veteran, Dancing with the Stars champion, author of a new series of books for kids here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay. I do look at the way that the AFC Championship game ended, where Tom Brady got the ball first because he was lucky enough to win a coin toss. 50-50 went in the Patriots' direction. And the presumed most valuable player of the league was there doing nothing and allowed to do nothing and walked off the field with no ability to respond, is similar to a long, drawn-out trial having one lawyer being able to give a closing statement, and that's it. The other side is not allowed to give a closing statement. Mm-hmm. Just the first one is allowed. That's it.
That's it.
And the jury has to make its decision. And more often than not, we'll just go with the last thing that they heard. That said, what about the idea that the Chiefs keep them out of the end zone? It's your job as a defender to keep them out of the end zone.
It is. It totally is your job. But it's the offense's job to score too. So what? Now check this out though. Hear me out. If you kick a field goal, 3 points, the other team gets the ball.
That was allowed to respond because they had a problem with nobody else being able to respond when it was just a field goal that could win it.
Right. So hear me out. You can score. They was like, oh, it's only a field goal. They can score more points, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's just 7. They can go for a 2-point conversion.
And go up by 8.
And win. The reason why you kick a field goal, well, let's give them an opportunity to see if they're going to score. Well, how about you score, let's give them an opportunity to go for a 2-point conversion and win. Either way, I don't like a game ending off of a coin toss and not allowing the opponent to have that opportunity.
But it didn't end on the coin toss. You know what I'm saying? Like the Saints got the ball, and this is what the Rams fans are saying about how unfair it is to say that they're not deserving to go to the Super Bowl, because you have no idea if that penalty was in fact called as it should have been. Right. You have no idea if there was going to be some sort of Romo bobble on the snap for the field goal, that they wouldn't have gotten one off, and they would have gone to overtime anyway. I mean, we can't sit here and say that everything would have gone a hunky-dory, certainly when we saw a Bears team get eliminated because the ball hit the upright and crossbar. Right. It's bizarre. Things happen, okay? So not only that, but Saints got the toss. Go their way. They got the ball in the hands of the GOAT, Drew Brees, in a building where he'd never lost a playoff game before.
Right.
And they made a defensive play and picked it off.
And picked it off.
And won.
And then that makes sense because the opponent stops you. But on the latter, when you have on the other game, the Patriots playing against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
It's pretty much going to come down to whoever won that coin toss.
Really?
I mean,
I don't know.
All right, so check this out. If the coin toss is Kansas City got it.
Yes.
Right, and they went and scored, I would still say.
Sure. Brady didn't
even get a chance.
The GOAT needs to touch it.
Let them go.
I turn to you, Mr. Defense should stop. I mean, would you be sitting here saying...
This is only a conversation because the Patriots won the game and no one likes them.
Totally disagree. Because I could care less.
You can say that, but the numbers don't even back that up. 44% of the time when the road team wins the coin toss, they win the game.
I'm not looking at percentage. What I'm talking about is the fairness for both teams to actually perform, because explain to me why.
They had 4 quarters to perform.
Well, no, now they have a 5th one, too, because of overtime. It was a tie, which I don't even agree with allowing ties in games either. I don't understand a tie. But to where we are at right now, are you okay with if a team in overtime kicks a field goal, boop, are you okay with the opponent getting the ball?
Because they essentially stop them.
That's a stop. That's a score.
A field goal is a stop. In overtime, when the rule is touchdown wins the game, you stop them by allowing them to kick a field goal and giving your offense a chance to respond.
So, okay. So you're up 7. So if you score a touchdown, you're up 7. Oh, it's 6, essentially.
Yes.
Right? To kick the extra point, do you have to kick the extra point in overtime?
No, because the game's over.
Game's over.
Because the game's over.
But what if they block it? What if they block that extra point the opponent goes down to score and kicks it and wins? With the field goal,
if you allow So here, I think what you're saying is this, and I agree because I look at everything from the fan point of view. I want to see Patrick Mahomes counter.
Let them boys play.
I don't. I understand it should be a punitive response if you give up a touchdown in overtime. But I still want to see a response. You should still be allowed to, the Chiefs should still be allowed to run out there, or if you said the situation was reversed, Brady should still be allowed to run out there and go for a touchdown.
Yes.
Which would make for some 4th and 8 attempts from somebody's own 14 exhilarating.
Yes.
And if they complete it and get down the field, and then they've got 4 cracks from inside the 10 would be exhilarating. And then the opportunity of another coach saying, you know what, I want to end it right here. I've got a 9-year contract left. I'm not going to get fired by my coach. I'm not going to be on a griddle, even if my fan base goes crazy. I'm going to go out there and go for 2 and try and win it. Or you send your field goal, your extra point team out there, and the kicker misses it. And what's the worst that can happen? He winds up on the Today Show.
Yeah.
Saying about how he deserves the most honorific player award of the year.
If you win the toss,
yes,
and it comes to 4th down, you're punting. You're giving the team an extra down to respond.
That's the issue too. Is the team? Yeah,
Well, that's part of the game now. Like if
what he's saying,
these are the rules.
What he's saying, if you win the toss and you go down the field, it really is still in certain parts of the field a 3-down proposition. You're going to punt it if it's 4th and 8 from your own 14.
Yes.
However, if you know you have to score a touchdown, damn the torpedoes. It's a 4-down situation for the team that's been able to respond.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.